Alright guys, welcome back to another episode of Off Axis Builds. Today I got a check engine light on my Jeep. I've been waiting for this to happen for a while. I've been meaning to replace my fuel pump. It started sputtering after the check engine light came on and gave me all the symptoms that pointed me towards a fuel pump. It's either a fuel pump or the oxygen sensor in this case, because I just did a full tune-up on it and it's been running great for the last month or so. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Jeep and see what we have to do to get this thing started. Now there's two ways you can go about it. You can actually drop the gas tank, or you can cut a hole in the back deck lid. And I'm going to choose the route of cutting the hole. It's a little less work. And then I'll just put a cap over it, so if I ever have to replace this again, it's an easy 10-minute swap. So let's take a look at the Jeep and see what we have. Alright guys, so here's the fuel pump. Got it off Amazon. Got the gasket for it as well. Some kits come with the gasket, some kits don't. This one happened to not have the gasket, so I ordered it separately. This, let's see if I can show you here. This gauge right here actually is for a 20-gallon gas tank. What comes in the YJs are 10 gallons, maybe 12 gallons, somewhere in there. So this will actually help to make my speedometer read correctly when I do my gas tank mod. So anyways, I'm not going to be doing the mod today. I don't have the time for that, but I am going to be tearing into this guy. So this guy is somewhere right about there. Okay, I'm not sure the measurement. We're going to have to find this out together. But I am going to come off both walls, center, and then make at least this size cut right centered. Okay, go from there and then put aluminum plate over it later with gasketing. So let's go ahead and get this thing cut open. What I do recommend doing is finding center, cutting with a hole saw, and then you can kind of see where the edges are. And then when you do the corners, cut with a hole saw so they're rounded corners. It'll just look a lot cleaner. Anyways, let's get you on the tripod and see what we have to cut. Alright, so one thing I want to point out to you is I have a 2-inch body lift on this guy. So I'm able to actually drill through the top and not worry about hitting the gas tank. For those of you that have not done the 2-inch body lift, you only have maybe 3/4 to an inch clearance from this deck lid to your tank. In this case, I have almost 3 inches of clearance. And the reason why I did that is so I can do the gas tank mod. I can actually lift up the gas tank and at the same time take out the tube, which will allow me to fill it all the way, which will be 20 gallons. So I'm going to go ahead and find my center point and then drill there just to kind of see where I'm at. So also one thing you have to realize, there's a channel right here for your seatbelt mount. Okay, so you want to make sure that your final cut is not too close to this. So when you do your cover, you don't have to cut into your seatbelt mount, and you don't have to remount your seatbelts. So this right here is the clearance. I have 2 inches to the first fitting on this tank. So because I did the gas tank, because I did the 2-inch body lift, I was able to clear everything and not come close to any of the hoses. Let's shine a light in there and have you guys take a look. So that's the top right there. So I'm going to have to find out where the bolts are and come out to that slightly larger so I can get the new one in. let's go ahead and do some measurements. Okay, so you have electrical connection right here. Let's see if we can pull it all the way out. Can't quite get to it, but I should be able to reach my hand in here since I do have that 2-inch body lift. Okay, that is disconnected. Okay, the other two things you're going to need to pinch. Let me check that. Okay, so these are special crimp-ons. You might be able to reuse them, but you more than likely need hose clamps. Let me see if I can find them. Okay, so these are the hose clamps I was talking about to replace these clip-ons. I've already cut that one off. I'm going to go ahead and cut this one off. I am going to label them though, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, just so I don't flip-flop them, because you want it to pump the proper direction and drain back the proper direction. So let's go ahead and do that. You do not want to flip those. And the hoses are the same diameter. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this thing twisted. Okay, one line is going to have pressure. I'm not sure which one, and one line may not, depending on how soon you've driven the car. Alright, so here's the float. There's the sensor to tell you how high fuel you have. Here's the pickup, which looks like it's a little cracked. This thing has 130,000 on it, unless the guy before me replaced it, which I doubt he did. Here's the new one. Got the float, the two ends. Everything looks the same, so let's go ahead and drop it in. Let's just make sure that these two hoses are pointed towards the driver's side wheel, towards the rear of the car, not the front of the car, obviously. Let's go ahead and get this thing put back in. So now's a good time to look in there, see if you got any junk. I'll go ahead and get a flashlight in there. So, this guy's gonna slide. Oh, there's a top. So you top front, so you're gonna want to put that towards the front of the car, facing up, right there. So there we go. Perfect. See, front of the car, top. Okay. I'm gonna leave these on until I get it in the car, and it goes in the same way it came out. The only difference is you want to make sure that guys, so I forgot to tell you what size these bolts are. 5/16 will work. Also, 8mm will work on those guys. They're roughly about the same. Like I said, you'll need to cut these off. You'll need to disconnect your electrical, and then you can take all those bolts out, pull it out, slide it back in. The rubber grommet right here actually snaps into the piece of plastic down below, and I think that's why this got cut. Anyways, so you want to make sure that fits in the little groove down there. Okay, and just make sure when you're tightening these down, don't tighten them too much. You saw that I was just barely using 2 fingers on it. I wasn't using my whole wrist on it, just barely enough to snug them up. So I'm gonna go ahead and make this cover plate now. I'm going to come from this groove to that groove, and then just screw it on in. 4 spots, or excuse me, 1, 2, 4, 6, 8 spots. Make sure it doesn't vibrate. I'll probably put some soundproofing on the bottom and on top of it. And so yeah, let's go ahead and get this thing cut. Alright guys, I know that doesn't look like much. It's a little hard to tell what it is. It's actually a homemade press. Perfect for doing this type of thing. and I'll show you what I'm doing on it. And once I'm finished, we'll take it back to the car. I just got to bend this side now. So let's get you on the tripod. Alright guys, so that is why I put the bend on it, so it comes back into the floor. Be kind of clean. I know there's going to be a gap here, but that's okay. I'm actually going to fill that with foam and it'll be supported by everything else. So what I'm going to do to attach this, you can do a couple things. You can screw sheet metal screws in. I'm actually going to put threads. These are called nut certs. So I'll have to drill the holes, put the nut certs in, and then mount it. So what I'm going to do is drill 2 of them, put the nut certs in, tighten those down so that nothing slides around, and I'll just get it attached. Alright guys, so I got it all buttoned back up, cover plate in. Now it's just time to take it for a drive, see how she runs. So let me take her around the block.